The Survivor Guide. Why do I have trouble saying this? The Survival Guide to Lent. Um, Today, I'm sorry I'm late today. Completely lost track of time. You know, when you're in COVID isolation, time just really, I don't know if you do, but I struggle with it. So, the last couple of sessions here, we've talked about the things that we need. We've brought along our handy dandy backpack, and in the backpack, you now should have any kind of form of shade. Well, water, first of all, most importantly. Forms of shade, a hat, maybe sunglasses, maybe an umbrella. And then we're going to talk today briefly about another item that you need to bring to survive in the desert. So last time we talked about shade, and this is kind of akin to that. You know, in order to get out of the desert, you do need to make movement, right? You can't just stay in one place and expect that you're ever going to get out of the desert. So there has to be times when you move. And while it's advisable to move either in the evening when it's cooler or in the early morning, just as the sun is rising. Uh, oh, there's our cat. Cat fights, so be prepared for that. Um, you can't always do that because you really wouldn't make very much headway if you're sitting around most of the day and the night, but you're, mobile for maybe a couple of hours a day. So to help with sun exposure, we should add to our bag some sunscreen. Now, I don't know about all of you, but when I was a teenager, we prided ourselves on how dark we could get, how tan we could be. And now, of course, we know that being tan to that degree can really harm your skin. And in fact, could lead to some pretty serious consequences like skin cancer. And skin cancer is the leading cause of death among young people. I don't know if you know that, but it's a problem. So sunscreen has become a natural part of our life. Any generation below mine would not only know what sunscreen is, but would always carry it with them. So this is kind of a no-brainer for a lot of you to carry sunscreen in your desert backpack. But what does this symbolize? What is the symbol of? So it's what does sunscreen actually do, right? It keeps us from getting burned and from damaging our skin. And our skin is what keeps our body together. It keeps all of our blood and our water that our body's made out of and everything all in one nice, neat little package. And without our skin, we're kind of in trouble, right? So we need protection like this. We need to protect our skin. We only get one skin, and they can do some grafting, but people that suffer really serious burns from fires and things spend their whole entire life getting treatment in many cases for very serious burns, and it's a very painful process to recover from. So we really do need to be grateful and thankful and protective of our skin when we can. So when we talk about, first of all, do you know what SPF, the words SPF mean? So like if you look at this, it has a number on it. It says 50. And that is the SPF. It says broad spectrum SPF 50. Do y'all know what SPF stands for? I need to pull up my information. It's sun protection factor is what it stands for. But it also measures how much protection you're getting from UV rays. So if you're getting, the higher the number, the more protection you're getting. But it also has to do with how frequently you need to reapply it. It's not a one and done. In other words, you could, like, you go to the beach and you're like, okay, I'm going to put on my sunscreen and then I'm going to lay out for the rest of the day. You can't do that. You're not going to get protection after a certain amount of time. And certainly if you go in the water, you need to frequently reapply your sunscreen. So if you normally burn after 10 minutes of unprotected sun exposure, you multiply that by that number by the SPF that you're using. And that's how long your sun protection will last. So if you burn after 10 minutes and you have 50 sunscreen, that's how long, and you multiply that times 10, that's how long you'll get. So you figure 50 minutes, that's what, 10 minutes, 50, 500 minutes. Does that sound right? I don't know. Something like that. So anyway, that's according to the Googles. Okay. So what's the difference between like SPF 30 and SPF 50? So a sunscreen SPF 30 will protect you from 96.7% of the UVB rays, whereas SPF 50 protects 98%. So it's close, but the higher the number, the more UV protection you get. So there's a little primer on sunscreen. All I know is that since I've been wearing sunscreen, I used to love being tan. You know, we all love being tan. Since I've been wearing sunscreen, my skin feels better. It's less dry. It feels healthier. And hopefully I'm protecting myself from skin cancer or other things. My mom, when she was older, not too long before she passed away, had a couple of, from her shoulders getting burned all the time, you know, she had to have a couple of cancerous moles removed because, and it was quite a painful process. So wear your sunscreen. It's very helpful. We all need protection, right? We all need protection from the sun. That's why we use sunscreen. But we also need protection from the world. And right now, I just saw one of my favorite YouTubers who does her name is Sherry. She does the Posh Paper Lady. She does a wonderful tutorials on paper crafting, and she's such a positive person. It's gotten so bad for her that she had to get on YouTube today and basically tell people to stop being rude in their comments. Now, come on. We shouldn't need to do this, right? We should be kind to each other and not be rude. Certainly people think that they have the right to say whatever that they want, but they don't, and they forget that they need to consider other people in what they say and what they do. And I don't think there's been quite enough of that recently. So God gives us protection. And I don't mean like, you know, security system, although that some people could argue that. What I mean is we have the strength of God. When we call upon God, God gives us strength to be able to withstand those brutal rays of sun, we'll call it. The people that are harsh to us, the people that are rude to us. God gives us the strength to be able to withstand that sort of pressure. So our sunscreen is a symbol of being able to stand in the world and still be with God, understand God, and allow God to protect us. So I hope that this will resonate with you. There's been, like I said, a lot of rude stuff going on the internet, especially in comments. I hope that you will use your sunscreen, God and Jesus, to help you get through some of those brutal rays from the folks out there, and also to help and pray for them that they might know this kind of grace that we know. I hope all of you are well, doing great. It's been very windy and stormy. I managed to keep my internet and my power, so I'm grateful for that. But I hope all of you are well. Take care, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye. Now, if I can get this to turn off. Every time I do this, I just can't. I don't know. I'm going to